Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2020 Dempsey Challenge presented by Amgen Oncology, our first of 2 days here today of rides, runs, and walks on Zwift as we raise money and awareness managing the impact of. My name is Brad Soner. I'll be your host today, and I'm being joined on the ground at the Dempsey Center by Travis McKenzie, of course, socially at the Dempsey Center there, Travis. But sounds like you guys have a lot going on today.
Yeah, Brad, it's great to be here. And traditionally, our Dempsey Challenge event has been held in real life. We've had people running, riding, and walking here in Lewiston, Maine. But given the health and well-being of our community, this year's ride and run and walk has gone virtual. And we've teamed up with the amazing folks at Zwift to bring the Dempsey Challenge to the virtual format this year.
So Travis, tell me a little bit about the virtual format and how it changes. Normally we get together in real life. We all gather together. Obviously that's not possible this year. So some changes being made to the virtual year.
Yeah, absolutely. So the challenge, the Dempsey Challenge, is the biggest fundraiser for the Dempsey Center. So it's usually held here, as I mentioned, in Lewiston, Maine, and all funds raised by the Dempsey Challenge goes to support individuals and families who are managing the impact of cancer. And today, our goal is to get past the $1.5 million raise mark throughout September. So we're well on track, and we're excited to be here with everyone on Zwift.
And we want everyone to be a part of the ride today. If you want to donate, you can head to the Dempsey Center website and just click on the Dempsey Challenge link there. You can find a way to donate, but here's a little bit more about how you can participate. So Travis, I know you are on the ground at the Dempsey Center, and you've got a special guest with you up there in Maine.
Turn up the volume for me in my ear a little bit.
Yeah, Patrick, welcome to the show. I know you're getting ready. We're a couple of minutes into the ride there. How are you feeling about today's ride, Patrick?
It's really fun. I love having a group ride where everybody is this physical at the start immediately, making room. It feels like we're at the last mile marker getting ready for the sprint, but it's great. It's nice to see so many people participating from around the world and supporting the event. You know, what we're trying to do here is really network with everybody around the world. What we do here at the center is we don't treat the disease, we treat the person in a holistic way. And we want to really contact other like-minded centers around the world and around the country. So please contact us so we can have a strong network. And it's just fun to have the technology to be able to unite everybody around the world in this cause and have such a great time. It's getting racy now, which is fun.
Now, Patrick, everyone's excited to join you and ride alongside you. There's some fast folks up the front. We're going to let them go. But tell me about how important it is to continue to raise the awareness and raise funds for the Dempsey Challenge and the Dempsey Center, and the ability for us to do so in this virtual world.
Yeah, I think the important thing for us is to really complement traditional medicines with the work that we do. And as soon as someone is diagnosed, it should go hand in hand. This is really our mission. This is what we want to achieve, and we are getting there slowly. But there's times when you get into diagnosis and before the treatment comes in of what type of medication you're going to go under or how they're going to approach, a lot of time goes by, and that's when we can come in and start helping with yoga, with fitness, mentally and physically, and nutrition, and also supporting the caregivers and helping them stay strong. So using the metaphor of cycling, team sport, you know, helping people survive is a great metaphor, and you know, it's nice that we've been able to achieve this.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you.
Now we have a bit of an incline, it feels like, right? Where do I look for that? Over there. No, it's good.
Well, let's
oh,
learn
this is
more
cool.
let's learn more about the Dempsey Challenge. Let's cut to the video.
There are so many people affected by cancer. The person who's been diagnosed, but then there's the family member, friends, everybody. And we treat and help the individual, the family, the team, and the heart and soul. And my mom was diagnosed in 1998 with ovarian cancer. You know, when you get that information, it's so overwhelming. You don't know how to process it. You don't know what to do. How do you help? What do you do? And that's when I sort of awakened to wellness centers. And that's how it all started. We're working with the hospital, we're working with the doctors so that what we're doing has the science base to it, which is very important. But at the same time, you also have the emotion and the touch on top of that.
By listening and utilizing the best evidence-based Western medical approaches as well as the best evidence-based wellness-enhancing approaches to care, we're creating a circle around the patient, with the patient at the center, driving their own care.
And how do we go about doing that? It's different for every individual, depending on what their cancer is or if it's a caregiver. And we listen to them and what their needs are, what their wants are. We'll then customize the program around that. I think this is such a huge part, is this element of it, is that integrative therapy. I mean, that's what I would want, and that's what we try to provide, and I know that's what my mother wanted. What's been the most amazing thing is how much the community itself has made this possible. Quality of life care is really, in essence, what we do.
We've known each other since we were literally infants. So for her to call me and tell me she had cancer, I'm 2,000 miles away. I have to hope that she has those resources close by, and the Dempsey Center has just done beautiful, beautiful things for her.
It's very raw, it's real, it's, you know, it touches everyone, and it's good work, and how can you say no to that?
You make it possible. All of you, each and every one of you, make it possible to really transform people's lives, and we thank you for that, and let's continue doing it. We have a lot of work to do.
Well, the 2020 Dempsey Challenge is officially underway as you see our massive Zwift Peloton out there riding. Travis, we have thousands of people joining us today, and we're going to have people continue to join us throughout the weekend as we strive for 25,000 participants across all of our platforms over the weekend for the Dempsey Challenge. So if you've got a friend out there, if you're riding with us, be sure to send them a message and see if you can get them on Zwift to join us here. Patrick is not the only superstar joining us today, Travis.
Yeah, we have some great friends of the Dempsey Center and the Dempsey Challenge joining us today, including Keegan Randall, Olympic gold medalist cross-country skier and breast cancer survivor. We have Trevor Maxwell here with us in the center. He's the founder of Man Up to Cancer. He's also currently fighting stage 4 colon cancer, a real inspirational story. Dr. Lizzie Baker, aka Dr. Sizzle, she's an amazing human being as well, and she's joining us from the center. She's been the host of our Training Tuesday segment, getting people ready for this virtual weekend. We also have Des and Ryan Linden. Now, Des is the winner of the Boston Marathon in 2018. Her husband, Ryan Linden, Roaster Ryan, great couple there joining us from Michigan. We've got Andrew Ferentz with us, NHL player, Stanley Cup champion. Bobby and Kristen Labonte. Bobby's a NASCAR champion. Kristen is also a former pro cyclist. We've got Kevin Livingston joining us, Tour de France cyclist. We also have Lee Nelson, who is undoubtedly the face of Maine. We also have Chris Kohler. We've got Dennis Richardson, a friend of Patrick's. We also have Kyle Rancourt, who's been leading some of our Zwift rides leading up into Challenge Weekend. We also have Jonathan Cartwright, super chef of restaurant Musette. And it's great to see people from all over the world as well, Brad.
Yeah, that's what Zwift is really all about, the ability to bring everyone together on the bike and We've got a great route for folks on Zwift today. We're riding in the virtual world of Watopia. That's the sort of the name of the island that we race around. Today, we're going to be racing around the Volcano Flat course. It's a relatively easy course. It's a 7.7 mile lap and just a little bit of elevation gain. Should take a little under an hour for the ride today. So the goal today is a nice, easy pace. It's a social ride there, isn't it, Travis?
It is, yeah. And the good thing about that is we can have people interacting with each other, getting around each other. It's a nice flat route. And as you mentioned, we will go underwater and Ocean Boulevard. We'll go through the sights and sounds of Watopia and also around the base of the volcano. The route started, we'll start in downtown Watopia and heads out along the biodome. And also we're going to rise up by the marina, and the route also then heads up into the Italian village, down the land bridge towards the volcano, and taking a short trip inside and around the volcano where riders will get to head back to the main island and back down to downtown Watopia.
This is one of the things I love about riding on. You get such a diverse terrain out there on course. You go through everything. You can go through downtown, and then you're in a volcano, and then you're underwater. And we're going to see a lot of that today along the route. So they got a great route for the Dempsey Challenge out there today. So you see Patrick on screen right now. That is Patrick Dempsey with the yellow arrow over him. So he's kind of our ride leader. If you're ever looking for Patrick in the group, you can find him with the yellow arrow overhead. But it's really just about everyone together. Again, we're just here to come together for the Dempsey Center today, and not quite race yet today.
Yeah. And Brad, we will be taking questions from the audience as well. So if you've got questions for Patrick or any of our special guests, you can submit those over on the Dempsey Center Facebook page. You can ask a question. We'll try and answer some of those throughout the show. We also want to talk about our goal that I mentioned about raising $1.5 million. We've actually crested over $1 million raise throughout the month of September. So we want to really make sure that is a focus. And really what that does is that supports the services that we offer here at the Dempsey Center. No cost cancer support services to anyone who's managing the impact of cancer.
Yeah, and this ride is really important to the Dempsey Center because this is one of the biggest fundraisers for the center here. So obviously with the COVID pandemic, it's really important that we continue to support the Dempsey Center. So I'm really glad that we could do it this year.
Yeah, it's been fantastic to be able to spread the awareness, Brad. Usually we have, as I mentioned, this ride together and run together and walk together in Lewiston, Maine. But we've got thousands and thousands of people from all over the world who now understand and know of the work we're doing at the Dempsey Center. And our goal and our hope is that funds are raised, but we also potentially will have some people join us in Maine in the future when we do get this ride and run and walk event back together in 2021.
We're all waiting until we can all get back together in person, but Zwift, not a bad way to do it until then. Travis, I know you're an avid Zwifter. It's very realistic out there. There's a little rafting in there. If you're new to the platform, I know we have a lot of new riders joining us here today. Give us a quick rundown of Zwift.
Yeah, so Zwift, as you can see and as you notice, is in the virtual world, and you have your own avatar. We're watching fantastic way to get a great workout, to connect with people all around the world and have some fun. And particularly in places like Maine and in the northeast of the US and many places around the world where it does get cold in the wintertime, this is either riding outside or just sitting on the trainer and staring at the wall. So Zwift has been a godsend for many, many, many cyclists around the world over the last few years since its inception.
And I think you said it best. It makes it fun for anyone that's ever spent a significant amount of time on a bike trainer. Not always fun, but Zwift certainly helps to make it a little more bearable and even makes it, dare I say, enjoyable to be on the trainer.
Yeah.
So nice to see so many people joining us here.
And look at Patrick making some moves here. Look at him go. He's putting in a big effort to catch the group. I hope that when we do get to chat to him, he's not too out of breath. He's making some serious moves there through the peloton. Patrick,
let's check in with Patrick now.
Is that 50 minutes? How long is this? It's 50 minutes, right? Are we done?
Old man, keep riding, keep going. We got to go here.
I think I might have done it too soon. I was doing a good lead out though. It's been great. I love the terrain change. I just don't want to get a flat through here. with the gravel,
be
but this
careful
is
on the
so much
gravel there.
fun.
You don't want to get that flat on the gravel there, Patrick. Now tell us how you're feeling the first few minutes in here. You're finding your way in Zwift. You're meeting a lot of people. There's great group around you. Tell us how you're feeling.
I love it, and once again, you were talking about being able to reach everybody around the world. And what a great way to train in the winter here in Maine to keep active. You feel better, and you get a really good workout. It's nice to do a little sprint like that, get your heart rate up and then recover, and then kind of get a toe. And the technology's been really a lot of fun and inspiring. And you're not alone out there, which is more important. And for us to raise the awareness, everyone's been affected by cancer. And if we can help people feel better along the way, keep them active, doing stuff like this, it's a great thing and inspires all of us. And the team here at the center has done a fantastic job being able to pull this off.
Now, Patrick, you've got your childhood friend Dennis on the ride as well. Have you seen him out on the road? Are you able to catch him, or has he been dropped already?
I think we're trying to he's been dropped, which is unfortunate because he's been doing, I think, he's done over 1,000 miles this year already, so he's been riding quite a bit. He's raised close to, I think, over 50,000, and we grew up together. He was my buddy as a kid, as far back as I can remember, and he's been a big supporter of the challenge in cycling now for a number of years, and it's great to see. That's why it's great coming back home.
Now, Patrick, tell me about the jersey. You're wearing the real-life version of the jersey that people are getting to wear in the Zwift ride. They'll get to keep this in their garage as well. How exciting is that?
Yeah, it's great, and once again, it's a great way to get awareness out there. You can also purchase one, and that's a great way for us to raise money because all of our services here at the center are at no cost to the patient. Not only the person who is diagnosed with cancer, but the caregivers, family members, and the children. And it's at no cost. And I think with everything that's been happening this year, the economic upheaval, that's going to be more important than ever to be able to reach people. And through our services online now, we can reach a lot more people remotely and safely. And that's our goal, so people feel like they have someone they can lean on.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We will have some more information about the Dempsey Connect services, the virtual services that you did mention. We will be showing and showcasing that. We're going to leave you to your ride here, but make sure you put in another sprint so we can watch you doing your big efforts and then recovering when we get to chat with you.
Okay, I'm going to recover and get back up front real quick. Should I put my hand up? Where's the
All right, we're going to be checking in with Patrick throughout the ride today. Don't forget, you can still submit questions for Patrick. If you have something that you want us to ask him, you can go to the Dempsey Center page and submit your questions there. We'll see those, and then we can get those out to Patrick if we can. Now, Patrick, not the only superstar guest that we have joining us on the show. We've got folks from really all over the world joining us virtually. So let's see if we can check in with our first... Yeah, let's check in with our first virtual rider. I think we have Keegan Randall on the line.
Keegan, how are you? Joining us all the way from beautiful Penticton, BC. Now, we referenced you earlier in the show, Olympic gold medalist, Brent, breast cancer survivor. You're an all-star. You're joining Zwift. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. You know, the silver lining for me, or the golden lining, I like to say, for my cancer experience was I don't have bad days anymore. When I get to get out here and hurt so good, it's the best day ever.
Now, your story is so incredible. You were a trailblazer. You forged a trail for generations to come in skiing. You won the gold medal, and then 2 months later, you were diagnosed with breast cancer. You were fit, healthy, and active, and that shouldn't happen. Tell us about what that was like when you got that diagnosis.
Well, I think it's going from one of the biggest highs in my life to one of the greatest shocks. I couldn't believe I felt amazing when I got my diagnosis. I was getting ready for bed one night. I happened to notice a small pea-sized lump that didn't feel quite right. Would have been so easy to dismiss it, but thankfully I got it checked. Turned out to be aggressive breast cancer that I was most likely competing with during the Olympics. And while I processed all that emotion in that moment, it was amazing how quickly my athlete frame of mind took over, and I realized tackling cancer was going to be a lot like chasing a gold medal. It was going to need an amazing team And it was going to be tough, but I was going to need to stay positive and believe that I could get to where I wanted to go.
Yeah, and you really took on your treatment and your recovery as an athlete, and you have been an advocate for being active through treatment and before as well. Tell us a little bit about the work you've done in promoting that activity within your community.
I had never had a personal connection to cancer before I got my own diagnosis. So I kind of developed this knowledge of physical activity before cancer that it really helped me not only achieve my goals as an Olympic skier, but it just helped my mood, it helped my energy, it was my friend group. It's something I needed to have every day. When I got my diagnosis, nobody was talking about what I could do. And I knew that I needed to make the commitment ahead of time to keep physical activity, probably at a different level, but keep it in every day, because that was going to help my body mentally and physically process the treatment. And now that I've lived through it, it's so important. And I love that the Dempsey Center recognizes the benefit of staying active, of helping all these other avenues of staying healthy through your treatment, because I really believe it makes your treatment more successful and it makes it easier to get through.
Yeah, absolutely. I have followed your journey for quite a while now, and I've been so inspired and impressed by the way that you've approached not only your life before cancer, but post-cancer. Tell us about your experience in Zwift. You've got people from all over the world riding around you. How cool is that to be able to see the global awareness that Zwift has been able to create for the Dempsey Center and the Dempsey Challenge?
I think it's just absolutely incredible. I'm a big team person. I have been all my life, despite competing in individual sports. I made great friends with my competitors over in Europe and around the world. And so the fact that we can now all do it, even in the middle of a pandemic, we can come together here, all sweat a little bit, and all do it in support of such an important cause. I'm just really excited to be a part of this team. And let's break that record this weekend. Great to see everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. 25,000 riders also unlocks a $25,000 donation from the team at Zwift. So we want to make sure, if you are watching or you're joining the broadcast on the ride, share with your friends. We have ride and run and walk activities to join in events tomorrow. So please make sure you do join us. Now, final question before we do cut back to the ride. Tell me about what you're expecting throughout the rest of the ride. Are you hoping to get towards the front? Are you going to chase Patrick? Are you going to try and drop him? What are you trying to achieve here with the ride today?
Well, I'm feeling 50% intimidated and 50% inspired by that sprint that Patrick just put in. So I think I'm ready to turn and burn a little bit. It's so fun to see everybody making their moves. We're covering the terrain. I want to finish this hour with that good endorphin feeling, so can't wait.
Yeah, well, enjoy the ride. Go chase down Patrick. Put some watts on. Now, the ride and the virtual event here isn't the only thing that we've been able to do virtually at the Dempsey Center. We also have been able to transition our services to offer virtual services for anyone that needs them through our Dempsey Connects program. So why don't we show a little bit more about the Dempsey Connects program and hear from Myra Robertson.
August of 2019, I started treatment for head and neck cancer.
I actually met Myra with the virtual world. Myra has utilized the services of the center prior to closing the centers. So Myra knows both worlds, you know, the services of the center and the virtual world. And I just have to say that she was just so grateful that we transitioned so quickly to the virtual services. And she was amazed at all of the services we continue to provide in the virtual world.
When it came out that they were going to do some online virtual things, I was so happy, so excited, because I'm a people person and I missed people, and that was the first thing, the first outreach that allowed me to see other people, and people I knew from having gone a few times and people I didn't know that I got to meet. So I was very grateful that we have the technology to do things like that and that they were offering those classes. And I signed up for 2 of the yoga classes and continued the Tai Chi and the writing class when that came online. And nutrition classes, they've been awesome there. So I learned about plant-based eating and better nutrition for health. The woman who does that is so knowledgeable, as they all are.
The cooking classes online have really been okay. They're fun. They're still interactive because I have a moderator who, brings me questions from the audience. So the audience gets to be very engaged, and honestly, I've been able to reach more people because there are a lot of people who choose not to come to the center, COVID or no COVID. Their immune system is compromised and they're a little bit nervous about coming to the center. So now they can still be part of a nutrition class and be engaged, but in the comfort of their own home. So in the end, everything has really worked out okay.
The silver lining is that we now can provide our services virtually. So for those clients who cannot get to us physically, do not feel comfortable coming back to us, we can continue to provide our services to them. So although I'm really anxious to meet and greet our clients through our doors again, because there's nothing like walking through the doors of the Dempsey Center. There's just a feeling that you get, but I still think we've been able to provide that virtually, and our clients are feeling it. So I know even if a client doesn't walk through our doors, they will continue to feel that comfort through our virtual services. So we've got the best of both worlds.
Wow. Cancer doesn't stop, and neither do these warriors. I am so glad that the Dempsey Center is able to get these services online so that everybody can continue to get the services that they need. That is awesome. All right, let's check in with the ride out on course. Looks like we're going underwater right now, Travis.
Yeah, it's a beautiful part of the course, Brad. I love every time I get to ride on Zwift and it go through this tunnel and there's fish flying around, and it's just a really fun way to kind of take your mind off the ride. And Brad, I just want to talk about that video. I get so emotional when I see the amazing services that we are able to provide here at the center. And if you can see behind me here, this is actually the virtual wall of honor that we have every year where people sign the board in the park to talk about who they're participating in honor of, in memory of, and in solidarity with. And it's just such an amazing, amazing place to be. And I'm so proud of the work we get to do here.
Today, everyone on the Zwift ride kind of signing in and checking in here with the Dempsey Center. So a little cool off here before we head back to the volcano on course and then back downtown to finish the lap as we'll wrap up again the 55-minute ride out there today. Looks like things are starting to separate out a little bit. Groups starting to see some gaps out there, but everyone looks like they're still having fun. That's the most important thing. We're hearing some lively chatter in the chat box. And don't forget, you can still submit questions on the Dempsey Center Facebook page. We're monitoring that right now. And when we go back to check in with Patrick, we'll make sure to get some of those questions to him. So we've actually got some cameras from other riders out around the world riding with us. See some of our virtual riders joining us here.
There he is. That's Dennis. There's Dennis Richardson, childhood friend of Patrick Dempsey, who we referenced early. Now, Dennis took on a 100-mile ride recently wearing a tutu for his fundraising efforts. He's looking like he's having an amazing time there. Dennis putting out some fantastic watts there in the center. Now, we do have some folks in the center. It's a huge space. We're all socially distanced. And look at Dennis go. He's dancing away. He's having the time of his life. He's such a big character and a big part of our Dempsey Center community. So we're so proud to have him on the ride today. What a treat.
And super cool that Patrick was able to get him into riding here on Zwift. It challenged him to quit smoking and then do the Dempsey Challenge.
Yeah, it's such a great story and a great story of lifetime friendship and doing good and making big changes in life. And Dennis is as I say, is a huge part of our community. So we're proud to have him. And there's many others, there's many other people that have joined us from around the world, and people who are really supportive of what we do on a year-round basis, not just today. But it's great to have them all on Zwift enjoying their ride today here with Patrick.
Dennis digging deep, leading the group here as he's kind of leapfrogging his way up through. You'll see some small groups forming out on the virtual course. So a lot of times you see riders kind of group up on Zwift, very similar to real life. And so looks like Dennis is the de facto group leader for this small group out there.
Yeah, and I think now we're crossing over to Des Linden. As I mentioned earlier, Des Linden was the Boston Marathon champion in 2018, and she's out there riding. Looks like she's alone. Ryan, her husband, Roaster Ryan, they're the couple behind Linden by Two Coffee. So those two are passionate about coffee, passionate about endurance sport, passionate about riding their bikes. Des, give us a thumbs up if you can see us. You're looking great. We've got Ryan there with her as well. Yeah, just great folks to have around, and we're so thankful and grateful that they're joining the ride today as well. Des has an amazing challenge coming up in October, the Run Des-tober, where she's actually going to take on a mammoth effort, which will be great to watch and great to see as well. But it looks like she's making some good progress there and chasing that group ahead of her as well.
Yeah, not every day you get to say you rode bikes with a Boston Marathon winner, but Des Linden out here on course today. So we can say we rode with a movie star and a Boston Marathon winner so far today, and we're going to meet some more guests as the ride goes on. We're just about halfway through our 55-minute ride today as Des continues to put power into the pedals here, and looks like she's going to make her way up to that front group here very soon. Here's Andrew Ference, NHL legend, checking in with us.
Look at that hair. That man has the flow going. He is a mammoth Zwifter. Andrew Ference is possibly the strongest non-professional cyclist I've ever ridden with. The man is an absolute beast. We've ridden together in many places around the world, in real life. And if look at the outfit, look at the bike. This man knows how to Zwift. What a guy.
And a huge cycle as well. I first met Andrew up at the Tour of Alberta up in his home territory, up in Alberta, Canada, and found out he was a keen cyclist when he's not busy playing hockey professionally. So now you can add an NHL player to the list of people that you get to ride with today. That's Andrew Ference it looks like he's got the red tarmac underneath him, I think.
Yeah, not only an NHL player, Stanley Cup champion with the Boston Bruins. So he has an affinity with the Northeast here as well. A lot of our Mainers here are supporters of the Boston Bruins, so they'll know Patrick. Patrick knows Andrew as well, so it's great to have Andrew on the ride.
Well, it's been awesome meeting celebrities early on here, and also some of the people that have used the services of the Dempsey Center. I want to talk about somebody else that has been a big part of that. He found the center instrumental in his fight against cancer, specifically the mental battle in terms of mental health, and he started a foundation called Man Up to Cancer. I want to hear a little more about Trevor Maxwell.
Hi, I'm Trevor Maxwell. I am living with stage 4 colon cancer, and I'm the founder of Man Up to Cancer. I can't imagine what my cancer journey would look like without the support of the Dempsey Center and the amazing people there. You know, I've been impacted financially going through cancer. Really grateful that the Dempsey Center offers all these services and programs free of charge to myself and to the members of my family. They embraced me for who I was as an individual, and I think that's the sense of belonging and that sense of community that only others who are going through cancer can give you when you're a patient. You know, and to get all of that without expense to me and my family, I mean, thank you hardly seems adequate enough.
And there is Trevor out on course right now. Let's see if we can get Trevor on the line because he's a really interesting guy. I want to see if we can hear from him. Travis.
Yeah, Trevor is an absolutely inspirational man. He is someone I've got to know well over the last few weeks and months, and I'm so excited to have him joining us on the ride today. Trevor Maxwell, I don't need to say it again, but you are an inspiration, my friend. How are you doing today?
I mean, thanks, Travis. I'm doing fantastic. I'm just filled with gratitude, man.
Yeah, and you're enjoying yourself on the Zwift ride there. We have put our arms around you virtually and also in real life. You have utilized the services of the center. You're still currently battling your cancer. You're doing an amazing job doing that. And then you personally also started Man Up to Cancer to really emphasize the fact that men shouldn't be alone when they're going through things like cancer. So please tell us a little bit more about Man Up to Cancer.
Yeah, I have to say, so thank you. Man Up to Cancer actually started with the three most important women in my life. My wife, Sarah, our two daughters, Sage and Elsie, they're 15 and 13, and they're watching this broadcast. So I wouldn't be here doing any of this without them. So thank you. And Man Up to Cancer it's a digital content company and an online community with one mission: to inspire men to not isolate when they're going through cancer. It just leads down a real problematic road. And we want men to know that they don't have to go through this alone. There's people that will have your back, and we want to be part of that.
Yeah, it's so great to see that you're able to embrace men and embrace the community while you're still going through your battle. Now, tell me a little bit more about how activity and riding and moving has played a big part in your treatment and your recovery here.
Well, it's a huge part. You got to stay active. You got to keep moving. But in order to do that, the first thing you have to care about is your mental health. And those things go hand in hand. But I went through depression, anxiety, real crushing period for mental health after my diagnosis. I've had 3 major surgeries. I've gone through chemo. I'm on immunotherapy. And what I did was, the best thing I did was having the courage to reach out for help. And the Dempsey Center was there early on in my journey. The Dempsey Center has been there every step of the way since, and really giving me the tools that I need to battle the mental health, and then add the fitness on top of that. So shout out to Patrick, the team, everyone at the Dempsey Center. You guys are changing lives. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, you're a fantastic part of our community, and it's amazing to be able to bring the Dempsey Challenge to life virtually this year and raise those much needed funds and awareness of the Dempsey Center. What does it mean to you to be able to participate in another Dempsey Challenge this way?
I mean, I get goosebumps because just being here, being one of the few people that's here to do this in Lewiston, Maine, like in person, I feel like I'm here representing all the other cancer patients. Like, I'm not on this bike alone. Like, all those people going through treatment, all those people, survivors, people in remission, everyone in the cancer community is right here on this bike with me. We're all in this together. The people who can't ride right now, people who just are in surgery or going through stuff where they're laid up. Like, I want all of you to know that I have your back. We're in this together. So I really feel that sense of unity. Like, I'm here so appropriately socially distanced on my bike, but all those people out there going through cancer are right here with me.
Trevor, you are an absolute inspiration, and I'm proud to call you a friend. I'm proud to follow your journey, and I'm so proud to have you on this ride. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go check back in with the rest of the ride.
Nothing but gratitude. Thank you.
Wow, that's the kind of guy you want on your team. Back out on course, looks like our lead riders have started to make their way into the volcano section of the course. And meanwhile, Patrick has found himself in a small group riding here. Looks like some folks going to be lucky enough to maybe even get a draft off of Patrick here, although I'm not sure how much of a draft Patrick is really giving off.
Yeah, Brad, I'm actually a little bit emotional. I must admit, I look up to Trevor as a man. I look up to Trevor as a husband and a father. So yeah, Brad, you might have to take it here for a minute. I'm feeling a bit emotional because he is such an amazing person. So we're very proud to have him as a part of the work we do here at the Dempsey Center.
Yeah, Trevor addressed something that's so important in the cancer battle. It's a holistic battle, and it's really important for everyone to maintain their mental and physical health during the battle. And, us guys, sometimes it's easy to push that stuff down, but Trevor reminding us to make sure that we address those issues as well, because it's a holistic battle in trying to beat this disease. So on to some dirt now.
And I'm excited. I'm excited to see everyone out on the course here. It looks like Patrick's doing a great job in the group there. And I'm actually a little bit jealous that I'm not able to ride. I know I'm going to join one of the rides tomorrow. I think I'm going to do the 9 o'clock session if anyone wants to join me. But I'm super jealous because this looks like so much fun. There's so many amazing people out there on the ride from around the world. What a time. This is amazing.
Yeah, so for the people watching on the live stream or on the broadcast, this isn't the only ride of the weekend. I understand you guys have rides pretty much every hour on the hour through tomorrow.
Yeah, on the hour, every hour, we've got multiple distances. We have 10 mile, 25 mile, 50 mile, and a 65 mile ride as well that you can join, all Gran Fondo style. So you can join and ride with different groups across the day and across the afternoon, all to raise funds and awareness for the Dempsey Center by bringing this virtual Dempsey Challenge to the Zwift platform.
And you can find those rides on the Dempsey Center website or on Zwift.com. They're listed all in order. So ride that works for you, and join us at some time throughout this weekend. We'd love to have you be part of the 25,000 people that we're trying to get to participate. Again, unlocking an additional $25,000 donation if we can get 25,000 people on our riding platforms throughout the weekend. So make sure you get the word out, let your friends and family know, maybe take them on a ride today or tomorrow. Get someone else on the trainer or running or walking on Zwift and show them around Watopia. All right, well, Patrick, who looks pretty comfortable, pretty calm now. Let's see if we can check back in with him, Travis.
Hey, everybody.
Patrick, you're looking great, mate. You look great in real life. You look great on your avatar on the screen. Tell me about how you're feeling right now, 41 minutes into the ride.
You know, better than I expected. You know, it's really so inspiring to ride with a group. You get their energy, even through the avatar, you get pulled through when people talk to you. And of course, the inspiration was just listening to Trevor talk about, you know, who he's so remarkable as a man, what he's overcome, you know, meeting obstacles with such grace and dignity and strength. And also, right now in the world, having male role models like that's very important, because he's connected to his heart and has the vulnerability. And in that vulnerability, there's a profound strength because of his compassion and empathy. And I think that just is, it's deeply moving, like you said, when you think about that in context to our lives. Someone like that who's overcome so much and is giving back so much is really inspiring. And, you know, it helps us. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's not the only one. There's so many amazing people within our community here at the Dempsey Center and in the Dempsey Challenge and on the ride today as well. Talk about some of those other folks that we checked in with that are, you know, providing meaningful impact in our community.
Right, and great feedback in our community. And I think this is the thing to remember is, you know, look in your own backyard with centers and people in your community are like this. And we need to contact them and let them know that they're not alone. And hopefully a ride like this brings that awareness that in your community, you can do something like this and benefit others. And when the community comes together, it's a much stronger community. And it's inspiring, really is. And you see the individual stories and testimonials of how amazing people are in the spirit, in the desire to just live fully. And to be out now, we're very fortunate and grateful to be a part of this ride because we get to be physical. And a lot of people aren't. And that's one thing that motivates us as well.
And it's an important mission and it's an important message. And before we head back to today's ride, we're also going to go and check in with some of today's participants and find out what is their why.
My why. Why do I do this?
I ride because I don't remember a time that I didn't know about cancer.
I do it in honor of my dad. He passed away from leukemia.
My grandmother who lost her battle with cancer. And I will bring her with me on my Run Dempsey Challenge weekend.
So many people struggle with cancer, and the Dempsey Center mission is to make life better.
Years ago, my family went through a cancer crisis, and with the help of the staff and volunteers, they helped navigate through the incredible journey.
A cancer journey is scary and sometimes lonely, but when we get together on Challenge Weekend and when you walk through the door at the Dempsey Center, you know you're not alone.
I will be walking because of my granddad, who died from liver cancer.
In memory of my father, who passed away in May of 2019 of leukemia.
My mom was the strongest person I have ever known, but she lost control late in her life, and that was as frustrating as fighting the cancer.
The type of work that's being done here and other like-minded centers around the country and around the world, it's what happens and what should happen as soon as you're diagnosed.
I am so proud that we have a Dempsey Center, that we're doing the work we're doing.
I ride for the Dempsey Center
because I really care about my community.
It's not treatment from cancer, it's healing from treatment.
I ride for my friends and family whose lives have been impacted by cancer.
And I'll be biking in honor of those who have and will benefit from this incredible initiative.
If I can give back even just a little bit, doing a 5K run, it's a start.
Everybody's going to have their own personal reasons to participate. Find that reason and support the Dempsey Center, participate in the Dempsey Challenge.
I believe that we can all draw strength from each other and our communities.
No one should have to go through a cancer diagnosis or a journey alone.
Get out there, celebrate your body, and do it for someone else that might not be able to.
And that's why I do it. That's why I run.
That's why I do it.
Are you guys ready to run?
Let's go!
Wow. Well, there's a lot of whys out there riding today on the course. I think everyone has their own reason to get involved with the Dempsey Center and get involved with what they're doing here. And sometimes it's tough to think about those whys during this time, but that's also a reason to keep pushing, isn't it, Travis?
It is, and it is unfortunate, Brad, that most people we know have some experience with and have had the impact of cancer. So it's nice to be able to see that we can do something in our honor of and in solidarity with. And I can't emphasize it enough. The community that we have here around the Dempsey Center is such an amazing community. There's people who are just incredible human beings, and I'm so privileged and honored to be a part of that community.
And it's such a welcoming community as well, isn't it? It's open arms and open door. Anyone that needs those services is welcome to reach out at the Dempsey Center.
Yeah, and I think that, to see everybody on the ride getting around the cause and it's so great to see. And look at the ride there now with the pack and Patrick surrounded by people who are probably so excited to get a thumbs up and a kudos and a ride on for Patrick's effort. I wonder if we're going to break any records for the amount of ride-ons that Patrick gets today. I'm sure that there's lots of thumbs up being thrown his way.
Yeah, before we started the ride, Patrick was getting used to his Zwift setup on the bike and figuring out how to say hello to everyone and give the ride on. He was very excited to be able to throw those out. So I think some people are even getting some ride-ons from him as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. And if you've been to the challenge before, you will know that Patrick has so much energy and he gives so generously of his time when we're in person. So it's not surprising to see that he's giving those ride-ons so generously in the ride as well. And he's doing a great job of keeping the group together. And you can see those ride-ons just popping up on the screen, left, right, and center. So we were right, Brad. We were correct with the amount of ride-ons getting thrown up there.
Yeah, and again, one of the other really cool parts of Zwift, you can communicate with the other people on your chat. You can give them a thumbs up, a good job, a smiley face. So it's a social aspect to riding as well. It's not just the getting on the bike. You get a chance to interact with the other riders around you. You can meet your friends on Zwift, or you can meet strangers on Watopia. With. That's another one of the very cool elements of Zwift. So let's see if we can check in with some more of our riders out on course. I know we've got the legend, Lizzie Baker, somewhere out there. Let's see if we can find Lizzie here.
There she is, Dr. Lizzie Baker, aka Dr. Sizzle. She's looking resplendent there in her Dempsey Challenge jersey with her war paint on around her eyes. Lizzie, how are you today?
I'm doing great, but the war paint has melted off. It came out hot on this ride. Trying to keep up.
Yeah, you're doing a great job keeping up, and I'd love for you to share the story of the war paint and talk about what that represents for you and what the Dempsey Challenge and the Dempsey Center also represents for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I signed up for the Dempsey Challenge 5 years ago when I was working at Central Maine Medical Center. I'm a pediatrician. And within a couple months of signing up, my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. So, the Dempsey Challenge became this representative event for me. And shortly after she was diagnosed, I decided somewhere I got inspired to wear war paint every day. And so we're fighting this war together. Haven't missed a day. I wear my war paint every day, even if it falls off. and she's still going really strong. So this is super important to me.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful message, and you've done an amazing job of joining our community and being involved in our community over those 5 years. And you've also led some Training Tuesday events to get people ready for this weekend, and particular anyone who's taking on the 50-mile ride throughout the weekend. Tell us about what you've done with those Training Tuesday segments.
So we went virtual this year, and we've been making videos every week for 8 weeks with an amazing team. We put together a training program for people that had never ridden 50 miles before. And we did check-ins every week. We talked about nutrition, safety, hydration, cramping, everything you would need to get a 50-mile bike ride done. It's been amazing.
Yeah, and we've seen some people take on their first 50-mile ride, whether it's planning on joining the Zwift ride tomorrow. Some people got out this morning. How meaningful is that people are taking on more than they thought they possibly could, all in the name of the Dempsey Challenge and the Dempsey Center?
Yeah, so that was exactly my experience in that first year. When my mom got diagnosed, I decided to go big and do the 2-day ride. I'd never ridden that far in my life. I wasn't ready, but I did it, and now I'm really into riding, and this has been huge for me. I think it's such an inspiration when you go out there on behalf of someone else or yourself.
Yeah, Lizzie, you're a star. You're an amazing part of our community. We thank you so much for joining us today, and we thank you so much for joining us over the last 5 years. We're going to take it back to the live ride. Enjoy the last little bit here, and I can't wait to check in with you after the ride. Enjoy. Back to the show.
Thank you.
Lizzie looking good out there on the bike as she heads along the beaches of Watopia here. By the way, all of our riders today riding the Specialized Tarmac SL7, right? The new Specialized bike that they unlocked here by doing the Dempsey Challenge ride. That's got to be cool. Get a new bike with the ride here.
Yeah, and Specialized has been a great partner of Patrick's and also of the Challenge for a number of years. So we're so glad that we've been able to allow our Zwift riders to ride on the Specialized Tarmac SL7. So that's a great treat. And you also mentioned the ability to unlock those jerseys as well. So anyone who joins the ride today and anyone who joins the rides tomorrow get to keep those jerseys in their Zwift garage, which is a great thank you and a gift to remember your Dempsey Challenge experience.
Yeah, show it off when you go ride around Watopia. Help us raise some awareness and let your friends and family know about Dempsey Challenge rides. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of these jerseys on Watopia over the next few weeks after the ride. I think a lot of people are going to be proud to rock this this blue jersey on Watopia.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we mentioned earlier, Brad, the real goal of the Dempsey Challenge is really to raise awareness and also to raise funds for the centre. So if anyone is watching and they have the means to do so and they feel inspired and moved by today's ride, then definitely we would love to have those donations roll in. And you can do that by heading to the dempseycenter.org and also navigating your way to dempseychallenge.org, where you can make those donations. And every dollar counts to having a positive impact on anyone managing cancer.
Yeah, especially in this time, this year. Very important that we make sure that we keep supporting those organizations that need our financial support. As we said, the Dempsey Challenge is the biggest fundraiser of the year for the Dempsey Center. And so we want to make sure that we keep those funds flowing so that they can keep doing the good work that they do.
Yeah, and absolutely. We'd love to have more people joining us on our rides tomorrow as well. I'm going to join the 9 o'clock, as I mentioned, get out there and do a good ride. And in the future, we would love to continue our group rides. We've been hosting group rides for the last 3 weeks, building up some anticipation and excitement. I'd love to continue to do those. And if anyone wants to join our community, we also have a club on Strava, so you can join that and stay in touch with everything that we're doing with the Dempsey Challenge.
All right, well, we see Patrick heading his way into the underwater section of the course on his Tarmac SL7, both virtually and in real life. I think you got a new bike ahead of the ride. I want to know what other preparations Patrick had for the ride today.
Yeah,
I
Patrick,
did a lot of
you're looking good. We saw your sprint there. How are you feeling? That was a big effort.
It was good. I wanted to get everybody motivated for the, we have a few seconds left here. And it was nice to get everybody, pushing towards the end. Here we go. But it's been a great event. You guys have done a fantastic job. It's been great to hear from all the participants. And we're really grateful that we were able to do this. I had a great time. I'm looking forward to next year to do this and the physical challenge here. So I invite everybody who has participated to come back to Maine next year and join us. And hopefully we can continue this on in the future. And thank you so much. So many people in this community are grateful for your support. And please spread the awareness. And other like-minded centers around the world, please get in touch with us. Let's unite. Let's get together and make a big impact in fighting cancer.
Patrick, you're such an inspiration. You founded the Dempsey Center with a mission, and you're doing such a great job. And it's so great to be able to take this to a global audience, as we talked about. Tell me about what we think we can do, the virtual ride next year, the in-person ride next year, and I'm sure plenty of other initiatives. I'm excited to see what comes in 2021.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things that we can do moving forward. This is a great starting point. It went very well. Thank you for that. I think I'm just a part of a very big team, a very strong team that I'm proud to be a part of. They inspire me. You have done a fantastic job. Everybody making it possible for us to do this event this year is just so inspiring. And we'll be able to reach more people virtually so that people aren't alone. And how can we make you feel better through your cancer journey? And if you can, tell us what you need too, that would be nice so we can improve our services. But thank you all so much.
Yeah. Patrick, final thoughts, final best wishes before we wrap up here today.
Hey, Dennis, what's up, brother? So Dennis did it. It was great. I mean, to be able to do it with Dennis.
I ended up in Canada.
He did it, man. Good job, brother. It's a great workout. It's really good. And to have everybody here. And one thing to remember, never forget where you come from, because those are the roots and that's who you are. And that's always good to see Dennis. He reminds me of that.
Oh, thanks for the invite.
Thanks, brother.
That's fun.
And it's good to be here in Maine and everybody. So thanks, world. Thank you, everybody. It's been a great experience.
Patrick, you're a star. Thanks, mate. We're going to head back to the ride.
Wow, what a great atmosphere here at the Dempsey Challenge, even virtually. Patrick, keeping the energy going this year. I love it. Love seeing so many people out here riding, as it looks like most people starting to wrap up their ride here. All in all, a successful day at the 2020 Dempsey Challenge.
Yeah, Brad, this has been a lot of work here for a lot of people to bring this to life. And we're so grateful and thankful for the team at Zwift for giving us this opportunity to bring the Dempsey Challenge to a virtual world. As we've mentioned a few times, if you wanted to join, you can join tomorrow on many of the group rides, runs and walks. We're also asking people to obviously make those donations. But we are so thankful and privileged to be able to have had this opportunity to bring the awareness of the center and the challenge to the virtual world.
And I think we should give another big thank you to Patrick as well for really having the vision to make this all happen, as obviously the founder of the Dempsey Center and the Dempsey Challenge. So we couldn't do this without Patrick, and he was a great sport today. So thank you, Patrick.
Thank you very
Patrick,
much.
Thank you so much. And also, yeah, Patrick, good. You're a star, and we appreciate it. Any final words from you, Patrick, around some of the other guests we have who had joined us from around the world? We had Andrew, we had Des, we had Keegan. Maybe a shout out and a thumbs up to some of those guys too.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody who participated, took the time out of their day to ride with us and to spread the love. We really appreciate that. And once again, just a great team effort. When things like this happen, it can either make or break an organization. And I'm just so proud at the leadership and how everybody just got in there and worked so hard to make it possible. And it's really inspiring. And we're gonna build on this, certainly. And I look forward to next year. I want to thank all of you. You guys made it really special. It was nice to listen to you and inspire us along the ride. And the route was beautiful. So thank you for that. It was really good. And let's do it next year. We'll get our numbers up.
Well, guys, this has made my day without a doubt. What an amazing experience to participate in the virtual Dempsey Challenge for 2020. I can't wait to see everyone in person in 2021 for the Dempsey Challenge. So we're going to wrap it up there. For Travis, my name is Brad. saying thank you to all of our participants, all of our riders. Again, you can continue to donate at dempseycenter.org. Make sure you get those donations in. Join us on Zwift for more rides this weekend. Find our Strava Club for the Dempsey Center and Dempsey Challenge, and we'll see you out there on the road and see you at the Dempsey Challenge in 2021.